Diving back in. Dwarfs continue. Gosh. Okay, so continuing with the projects that we were working on previously, which is basically just doing our first test run of this, which is almost ready to go. I just need this lava to kick it over there and fill up a little bit, which it's working on. It's working on slowly. So we'll just kind of let that thing do its thing while we kind of go and mess around up here a little bit. So I'll also make sure that my elephants aren't starving to death down here. No, they're not. And that llama just is here to have fun, I guess. So we can slaughter that llama. Slaughter some more of the baby elephants. And what we're going to do... Wait, what? What demo can you not even launch? No, I'm just kind of curious. Especially if the dev's response is to reinstall Windows. What? I can't say I've ever had a demo that just like straight up refused to launch. We're going to start cutting back the stone from up here. And apparently, I have another mood. A mason. Well, that's a mason. Good luck there, little Ravod. Go make us something cool. Start chiseling around the edges. Yeah, I need to figure out where this lava is going to flow. That, I think, is the most important part. Because, like, if we go up to the top here, I have this very convenient spot right here. But the lava's not that deep, right? It only goes down to about there. So we have to start the lava flow pretty much around here if we want to do anything with it. Unless I fill the volcano up more. Which I don't actually know if I can do. Like, if I start pouring... I've never tried this before. If I start pouring lava into the volcano on this level, will it eventually fill up and overflow? Like, this is a genuine question to people who know how Dwarf Fortress works better than I do. Like, if I start filling the volcano, will it overflow or will it just drain back down into the magma sea? I don't actually know. Because I would love to get it up to, like, here. I think that would be awesome. But also not mandatory. So what you're saying is it will fill? I think that's what that means. Unless you saying it doesn't pressure would mean it wouldn't. If it's not going to, then I think we should just start channeling into this. Like start up here and just start cutting out a chunk of mountain. Will not overflow? Okay. That was kind of my suspicion. So what I think we're going to do is we're just going to start channeling down to where the lava is. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to basically cut out this chunk of mountain all the way down to here. This is going to be a really, really big construction. But once it's done, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. We'll have a lot of very good miners. It's an issue with your PC and the dev is helping you on Discord. And they're very friendly, and so you went through things that you could only have left, and it was to reinstall Windows. What game is it, if I can ask? I ran into an issue with a game recently, which some of you can maybe guess, but I'm not going to name. Where the game was refusing to save properly. And the developer's assistants turned into, oh, uninstall all of your antivirus software. To which point I said, I don't have any antivirus software. He goes, well, disable Windows Defender. Like, well, I am using Malwarebytes, which isn't antivirus software. It's anti-malware software. And he goes, oh, well, that's a known offender as well. It's like, I don't want to know what you're doing with your save files now. So you know what? I'm just maybe not going to play your game anymore. just not going to do that. Hero's Rest. I've seen that one. What's that? Hero's Rest. Oh, this one. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Vanguard games. Rovod's begun a mysterious construction. What all did you grab? Stray llama bone, iron bars, cave spider silk cloth, finger lime wood logs, rough clear garnets, wood logs, and 2 pieces of diorite. Also something that I think I completely forgot to do earlier today, so I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to read out every single one of the living dwarves in the fort. If you do not hear your name and you want a dwarf, shout. And if you do hear your name and you want me to check in on your dwarf, let me know. Tygo, Acre, Rory, Diamond, Tapioke, Darren, Pablo, Onyx, Mistrunner, Piranha, Aquafunkalistic Booty Wap, Ayer, Orion, Sanic, Animal, Bastet, Soul Shinery, X-Wrench, Audio Coaster, Rolf, A Sunday, Spooky, Nostrum, and Deadliest. If you want to hear about your dwarf, just yell. Also, investments are open. You too can one day become a ticketillionaire. This is kind of a sketchy job, but you know what? Someone's got to do it. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, you know, just digging down to the hot part of a volcano. This is fine. Also, chat room investments are in fact open now if you would like to invest your tickets. You want quivers? Leather quiver. 3. Yeah, I'm kind of like working my brain through like a design to essentially make magma spray hoses using fortifications, screw pumps, and lava. I feel like the walkway where the baddies walk would need to be like one lower than the cannons, because I'm not sure how much horizontal spray distance we're going to get. So what I'm thinking is like flat walkway connected to a wall, above pit of lava, with like a turret in the center with pump stacks and like a lava reservoir in the middle. They pressurize I'll use like drive shafts to pressurize the lava and then pull a lever to fire it off. It's gonna take me like 3 days to build real time, so tune in on Thursday evening and I might have it done. Bellinair, thank you very much for the raid. How was demos? Any favorites from the day? Any stinkers? But hi, Oswix. We're playing with volcanoes. Rovad the Mason has created Non-Shadidius Taisvunam. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Bellinair is here. Click on that button and go give him a follow. He's a good dude. Plays video games. We'll play Dwarf Fortress when Dwarf Fortress comes out on Steam. So you know he is friend. He speaks fluent rolled R in a thick Finnish accent. A diorite quern and claims it is a Hamley heirloom. This is a diorite quern. All craft or ship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with dog leather and encircled with bands of custard apple wood and finger lime wood and llama bone. This object menaces with spikes of Diorite. On the item is an image of... Wait, hold on. On the item is an image of in Diorite. Are traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of the Pointy Hall at Stonewater in the early winter of 244. On the item is an image of Id Soulshinery, the dwarf, and the painful amazements, the jagged armadillo leather helm in clear garnet. Soulshinery is raising. Helped Carnage, the painful amazements. The artwork relates to the creation of Helped Carnage, the painful amazements in Stonewater by the dwarf Soulshinery in the late summer of 244. On the item is an image of a whipvine in Cave Spider Silk. On the item is an image of a square cut gem in iron. Same itch as Nova Drift? Ooh. Probably pretty bullet hell, I'd assume, yeah? Also, we low on booze. This seemed bad. Okay. I think I'm just going to give some more dwarves brewing. Really, just what I'm going to do. That's usually my bottleneck, because I almost always never have enough brewers. And then I'll realize, like, oh, there's one dwarf doing all of the brewing jobs in this entire fort. Oh, that or we just don't have any plants to brew drinks from. That's also definitely possible. Allows you to grab asteroids and enemy ships and fling them around at each other in missiles? Ooh. Interesting. Are you putting that footage up on YouTube or anything? Or I saw you had a fancy little overlay for it, which is why I asked. We're making a lot of glass. And we're going to be using that glass. Ooh, actually, I might be able to put on a Steam show. Not quite. I need this lava stuff here to fill just a little bit faster. A little bit faster. Yeah, FG was saying something about potionomics. Like, it's still filling. It's just filling really painfully slowly. But this water is going to get dropped onto this to make some obsidian. Let's just continue digging stuff away. So my question to you now is, what was the worst demo you played today? What was the least interesting or the most disappointing, or which one broke entirely? Because the only demo I've played so far from this next fest is Manor Lords, and I really like it. So, like, my current standing is I'm boring. I played one demo, and I like it. Manor Lords is awesome. Yeah, and there's, like, so little in there. Like, even the tutorial is like, now you need to make clothes, and very quickly you realize, oh, I could sort of, like, bug the game into giving me clothes by trading for it, but, like, there's no way to actually make it. Like, I made all these flax fields and all of, like set up stuff to make clothing, and I was like, oh, it's just straight up just not in the game. Okay, that's excellent, awesome. Most demos looked really good. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm partially fascinated by Manor Lords because it's the only game that I'm interested in that's more wishlisted on Steam than Dwarf Fortress. It's not even that much more. It's like by a small margin. When it comes to exclamation point tile said Aussie Pig, but hello. The reason I think Manor Lords isn't that interesting right now is because it doesn't have any of the combat stuff in it. That's the part that has me really, really interested. Because right now it's like, it has the foundations to be a really solid city builder, which is fine. But there's a lot of those, right? I want a solid city builder that also has solid combat and solid, like, conquest mechanics. And if they can stick the landing for what they're trying to do, it'll be kind of like a Songs of Six situation where there really isn't anything else like it. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because, like, right now, like, there's comparable city builders that are more interesting. Like, and that's just kind of a given. But it's a matter of whether or not they can stick the landing. I've never played a city builder like that with combat that was worth paying attention to. Every single one, it's like the combat is just a net negative on it. I mean, isn't that how people appear anyway? Also, that's a demo, right? It's a demo for an early access game, so it's hard to tell what is a confirmed, like, finalized mechanic and what is just, fuck it, placeholder for the demo or testing purposes, right? So, on one hand, yes, I agree, but on the other hand, there's so much more I still want to see, and I'm impressed by what's there already. So, I don't know. And this is partially why I hate covering demos. Because, like, early access games are too early to see it. Now we're getting demos on unfinished games. It's like, great, so it's a demo for an unfinished product. It's like there's no way that it could possibly be any good because it's a demo for an unfinished product. It's just like a, here's your base game loop. Are you happy with the base game loop? Yes, I'm happy with the base game loop. Okay. Now I'm looking forward to the rest of the game. I'm not going to criticize a base game loop because, like, there isn't even, like, enough there to criticize yet. When I used fast forward, go download it yourself and play it. Bah. Game moves really slowly when you don't fast forward. This is also why I hate covering demos, is because my response to people when they're just like, I don't like the way you play, is like, just go play it yourself. It's free. But yeah, no, I do agree. Like, it's the details and the animations that make that game cool right now. But it's the combat stuff that I'm interested in. Vast majority. I keep on thinking I'm seeing dead dwarves. I'm not. It's just dwarves stacked on top of dwarves sometimes look like dead dwarves when they pop up for a split second. God, this is going to take 10 years. There's a toggle to turn off the houses snapping to roads thing. I mean, Songs of Six is a solo developer. But noted, you hate it when I use fast forward. I'll try to use it less in videos like that now. It's just how I play games on high speeds. Especially when you've been building one city for an hour and a half on high speed, it's hard to turn it down. Well, you never know. I mean, Odd Realm is an entirely single-person developed game, and he did all of the modeling and animating himself. Although that's pixel art, so I guess that's more doable. Generally, yeah. Oswix. Well, Dwarf Fortress isn't a solo dev, though. Dwarf Fortress is 2 devs. Don't forget Zach exists. Come on. Although, I just want to shout something out. There was a tweet last night, which if you're interested in Dwarf Fortress, is worth noting. Which is, I played Dwarf Fortress for the first time ever tonight, and a dwarf got crushed, and his body ended up in the stockpile. Y'all are gonna love this. That's Zach's partner. You're just amazed that it can't be possible. I mean, fair. Although, I'm just amazed that video games get made. Doesn't matter how many people are on the team. 3 people on the team, 12 people on the team. I can't even make a pixel move across a screen, let alone a video game. That's fun. There's a pro to working alone. I mean, if you have all of the skills needed and like the dedication and the time, then I absolutely would believe that there's pros to working alone. Decision making is less problematic. Depends on how decisive you are, I guess. If you're very indecisive, it might be even more problematic. True, you don't need any people. You need less people skills. Which is why I love the fact that Songs of Six has a community manager now. So it's technically a 2-person team. It's community guy and then dev. But the reason they hired a community guy was because the devs stated that he got tired of talking with people all day. It's just like, I got tired of talking to everybody by myself, so I hired a guy to help. But I'll still be here talking to you all day. There's just too many of you, so I can't talk to all of you. Like, I need to actually work on the game at some point. Which is just very funny to me. Come on, you're almost there. I'm really going to need to increase the flow of lava into there. There's no way in hell we literally have no drinkable plants, eh? I mean, no actual way in hell. Oh, actually, hold up. Like 100 rock pots. I have a slight suspicion. Let's see if that's the problem. I might just be out of space for beverages. You started dreaming about managing it every night? This seems like a good problem. Also, it seems like it's time to wait for the next major patch. You know, it's like, it's time to take a break. Songs of Six just is better than it has any right to be. That game is ridiculously good. So I think we're going to dig this down to, I guess, about this level. So I'm going to just be taking a huge chunk out of the mountain. And I guess we'll also be, like, incidentally making this into kind of a new summit, I guess, for the mountain. Because we got this tiny little summit right there, but we'll be making a new summit right next to it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set it up so that we can channel out the lava and let it controllably flow it down into here. And then we'll probably make a basin nearby where my elephant, maybe like on top of even where my elephant enclosure is down here. Perhaps move the elephants entirely underground. I'm not even sure. And we'll be building a defensive structure around here to do with a large lava basin. And yeah, it should be a bunch of fun. Also, now the game's saving, so I gotta stare at this lovely pattern of bedrooms. But how much time did you get out of it before you had to take a break, Pablo? Because I'll be honest, Songs of Six is probably, like, if I played that game as much as I could, by the way, just because I know a lot of you guys are into this shit, apparently this is happening. When did this get announced? I like the look of the cars. $90? Okay, so you have as much time in it as me then. What, Streets of Rogue 2? I mean, the first one was like a top-down run-based immersive sim. That first game was strange, but... Need another food stockpile. I kind of just need a drink stockpile. Let's just do that. Assuming the problem here is the stockpile is too full. I always forget just how much channeling layers in Dwarf Fortress destroys your frame rate. It's like the one task that's like genuinely destructive on your frame rate. You've got several jobs overlapping. Oh no. I guess that's one benefit for me just having games that, you know, be my job. I can't exactly quit games because I don't have time due to work, you know? Although I will say I was wasting some time this past weekend because I was playing Need for Speed Heat, which isn't a good video game. I would say it's a mediocre game at best. But it's been $5 on Steam for the past, like, 2 weeks, and is continuing to be $5. And it's like, that game, when it first launched on Steam, had a mostly negative rating, and I completely understand why. Like, it's structurally it's not a very good game. But, like, I don't know. I can shut my brain off and just drive in circles around a city and be perfectly entertained, so I'm probably going to play through most of that game. Freelancing is all about 3 jobs today and none tomorrow. Yep. No, I know how that... I mean, that's basically how my job works, right? Yeah, the difference is I didn't refund it. I have like 4 hours in it now. But then again, I have like... It's like 150 hours in the last Forza Horizon, which I finished most of the stuff to do in that game. But I had it through Game Pass. I never would have paid full price for it, but... I just had it on Game Pass, so I've just been playing it in the background for forever. That's been like my shut my brain off and listen to a podcast game for a while, which I guess is now Need for Speed Heat. Greetings, Armor. How is Armor doing on this fine afternoon? Honestly, I think refunding it was the right decision, Pablo. You had Game Pass for Forza and Flight Sim? It was my Age of Empires subscription for a bit, but I play quite a few things through Game Pass, actually. It's just a useful thing to have. I probably wouldn't be paying for it if it wasn't, like, a really easy way for me to just, like, get content for my podcast. It's like, I need to talk about something, and all I've played this week is Songs of Six and Dwarf Fortress. All right, what game can I quickly download from Game Pass? Download something, mess around with it for 45 minutes. I played a new game this week. Is kind of how a lot of that stuff goes for me. But to anybody just tuning in, we are chiseling around the edge of a volcano. Armor, it's good to see you, by the way. We are chiseling around the edge of a volcano to have a much easier access to the lava flow without having to go underground. And maybe we'll be able to build cool glass towers or something. I haven't decided yet. But currently I'm forming a entire mountain to my will. We're going to be going down to about here. Maybe even down to here for all the forming. Regardless, it'll be cool once it's done, hopefully. You know, it's just kind of funny for me, though, Pablo, because, like, I don't generally play AAA games. Like, I really, really don't. And I don't usually, whenever people ask me, like, what kinds of games do you like to play? It's like, I never describe myself as somebody who likes to play AAA games, yet, like, secretly inside, I love playing shitty racing games. To the point where, like, I've played so many AAA, like, arcade racing games that it's just, like, being disappointed by AAA, like, racing games is just routine for me at this point. It's like I just like once every couple of years I'll buy one or I'll find one and I'll just put a stupid number of hours into them, even though they're very rarely any good. Guess we could start paneling out from a different direction, but I think I'll just let them finish this. The Earth is actually pretty cool. There's a military sim engine. It's called like Terra Earth or something. Which is just like an engine, right? Like, and this is it's got a free tech demo, which is just like a 1-to-1 scale model of Earth. And you can like, there's several different jets and various other machines in the demo that you can mess around with. There's like some Jeeps and other things like that. There's like, there's a single mill sim that uses it, and then there's like one other video game that's like been in development hell for years that uses it as an engine. But it's just a 1-to-1 scale model of Earth, basically, is this demo. And I remember there was one day where, this was years ago, I just got into the little included APC thing and just started driving across Africa. Made it after like 2 days of just like kind of letting this thing run on my computer. I made it around halfway across. Of course, like it doesn't have any modeled cities. It's just it just simulates the land masses and then some road networks based off of satellite data. It's a weird tech demo. Point, I need to go look up what that actual thing was called. Motorstorm? That was, you know, Motorstorm and Motorstorm Pacific Rift? I don't. Motorstorm and Motorstorm Pacific, whatever the fuck, were two of the games I had for my PlayStation 3 when I had a PlayStation. I had Motorstorm and then the desert sandy one, and then the tropical island one, the pseudo sequel, or the sequel, I guess. No, it's not Bohemia Interactive. Let me look this up. Just trying to figure this out now because you're like trying to guess. I'd say go look up fuel, but I don't actually think you can still buy fuel. Chops? Because that's what fuel was. Literally just called fuel. I own fuel on Steam. I think it was actually delisted from Steam. Unless they relisted it at some point. Found it. Although now they just pitch it as a seamless planet rendering from space to surface level detail. That's not what the original pitch for this was, but... Oh, Terra. There you go. Also, the humans have arrived, as well as the High Treasurer, while I was looking that up. Meaning we have humans to trade with. Would you look at that? There we go. I think I found the issue. Why I kept running out of booze. I needed to make more pots. But there you go. Loved how heavy the vehicles felt. What, in fuel? I mean, fuel is like the procedurally generated racing game. Is it even on Steam anymore? No. There's a game called Fuel Renegades, which is not that. Yeah, but I have it on Steam. Yep, it's no longer on Steam. Wonder who owns the rights to Fuel. I wonder. That was a terrible name for a video game, though. Well, here come the humans. Please don't walk across the area of dirt I channel right as I channel it. I don't think that'll do anything, but if it does, I don't want it to. It looks like the dwarves just stopped digging. Just kind of curious what would happen if we channeled from underneath a wagon while it was on a to-be channeled zone. Can't be anything good, that's for sure. Oh shit, we got a new mayor. I think I need to make my food stockpile bigger. Also, pretty sure I need a refuse stockpile. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend my greetings to your people. There is much to discuss. The information is the same as ever. What requests do you have of our merchants? Also, I would like to highlight the fact that this fortress has had, like, 5 different mayors in its time. Which is actually kind of neat. That doesn't really happen. It's actually quite unlikely. It's also a hungry cavey. I'm sure it'll get along just fine with my elephants. There you go. All right, let's see what we can sell to these. So here's the question, chat. What do you think? Of Outera, that thing that I finally remembered the name of. Since you all are probably looking at it. So gotta slaughter a lot of puppies. Apologies in advance. There's only an image? Okay. Well, I guess did they remove all of their promo stuff? Oh, yeah, they did. Okay. I didn't look at the website for longer than a few seconds. Outera used to have, like, a download thing where you could, like, download. Outera. Just went down a bit of a rabbit hole? Yeah, there's quite a few different videos of it. Also, apparently it's a very, 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 very... After a quick Google search, it's a middleware graphics engine and a very, 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 very expensive barbecue brand. There's a barbecue brand with the exact same... Like, the exact same name. That's kind of funny to me. Like, go kill more puppies. That's what you went to first, really? Very fancy barbecues or accurate one-to-one scale Earth simulations. Yeah, I have a feeling they've actually... Because, like, I remember when I was messing around with that demo, it was a public demo because they were looking for investment. They probably found that investment. That's probably what happened. Oh, no! An artifact is missing from its proper place. Well, sounds like it's time for us to set up interrogators and also deal with that. Something stinks. You know what? Let's just make a food stockpile up here. Just anything goes food stockpile, maybe no drinks. No seeds. No drinks. That helps. You don't trust any sites with the downloads? Neither would I. But yeah, that's my current assumption now, because like I was like 16, 17 or something when I found it. And it was very much like, this is an engine that we're trying to sell. This is tech that we're trying to sell. If you want to buy this engine, give us money and you can purchase it. Was very much the pitch when I encountered it. So. That's probably still the case, frankly. I want to say Obsidian Ant put out a... Actually, hold on, let me see. Did Obsidian Ant make a video about it? Yes, he did, actually. There you go. There's a video of it. Shoutouts to Obsidian Ant. This is what it was. You could just like fly around the earth. I just remember it being like a 40 gig download. And there was like some vehicles that you could fuck around with, but it was mostly just this kind of thing. That is a lot of miasma, guys. Come on. Get all that crap out of there. What am I buying from you guys? I'm really gonna need to start expanding certain parts of this fort pretty soon. Like, I really need a better setup for food. It brings so many books. Excision, Fact or Fiction, my favorite. All right, how's this lava? All right, chat, I got bad news for you. I think I need to add a third lava flow into here. Didn't want to have to do that, but I think I'm gonna have to do that. I'll just let that thing sit and do its thing for a little bit while we work on this top bit, because this top bit's more exciting. Just gonna have to reinstate your Game Pass now. Wasn't Flight Sim on sale on Steam? Sure it was. Not anymore. Honestly, I would just wait until it's on sale. Buy it. Just buy it and just have it. It's usually the better way to do things. All right, right. I need to put my mayor somewhere he's happy. We're back with this mayor. I kind of like it when the dwarves constantly are electing new mayors, so everything stays interesting. But I kind of hate it because it's really annoying having to just like, oh no, now you need this stuff. Okay, no, now you need this stuff. Oh, God, I have to reassign all this shit again. The 5th time I have to reassign all this shit again. It's like a never-ending cycle of, oh, I have to reassign all this shit. God damn. There's worse things I've been made to do, but you know, it's kind of funny. Somebody commented on one of my videos the other day saying, do you think Dwarf Fortress will have a demo in the next fest? To which my only response really was, well, I know they won't. But, like, I got to thinking about it after I responded to that comment. Wouldn't it have been funny if they put out a demo that was just like World Gen? It's like it's the Dwarf Fortress demo. Cool! You can generate a world and read about it in Legends mode. No Fortress mode. Do you think that would just make people mad? Because I think that would be really funny. If they had a demo that was like just Legends. Or it's like they have a free demo on Steam and it's the full version of the game, but it's just like DF Classic. It's like their demo on Steam is just Dwarf Fortress Classic. It's just the current game. Be a really good way to just like annoy the entirety of the internet, but my God, that would be funny. Like, I would think that is very funny. I don't think anybody else would, but I would think that that is very funny. If you were able to take the world and put it into, like, what if it was back compat? I don't think it's going to be at all, actually. Like, I know it's, like, saves will be compatible between Steam and Classic once they both have the update, but the 47 builds, which is what we're currently playing, premium to that, it's not going to be compatible. There we go. Booze count is finally going up again. Why do they, like, always leave, like, these random, like, spots in the middle of nowhere like this? There's, like, this line there where they just stopped digging. It's like it's all the same priority, but they just, like, forgot that that bit was there. I'm gonna get news and hype. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the sort of thing that people who've played this game for years would think would get people excited about this game, but I think in actual reality, it would just piss off people who are, like, used to normal demos and play normal games, you know? People who play Need for Speed Heat would just get mad at it. The actual, like, benefit, I think, is just gonna be, like, releasing it. that's the thing that it'll actually benefit from. But my God, I'm excited to see how well it does, especially with how well Manor Lords has been doing. Because, like, I mean, I was using Wandering Village as, like, a kind of comparison point for Dwarf Fortress, right? Wandering Village was, like, the 50th most wishlisted game on Steam when it released into early access. Manor Lords is the only game that's, like, above Dwarf Fortress, but it's not even a full release. It's going to be an early access release, so it's going to be a hidden release. It's not going to show up in the popular new releases section, whereas Dwarf Fortress will. God, I'm so excited about how well Dwarf Fortress is going to do. Just recent releases with, like, Terra and Victa and shit. And it finally booted. Okay, sounds like just bad programming on the devs' part then. It just booted eventually. It just figured its shit out. Was it worth the wait? Spooky? You had to close it though, so you're waiting it again. This time you're timing it. This has just become, like, part of the entertainment. Just how long does this game take to launch? Just sitting there with a stopwatch. Also, out of curiosity, does anybody here know what's going on with the whole Zom Disco Elysium thing? Because supposedly the original creators have been booted out of the studio, but it's all been so weird and, like, halfway just, like, twitlongers that it's hard to tell what's actually going on there. I'm just curious if anybody here is actually aware of what's going on there. So I kind of want to ramble about it. The what? The studio who made Disco Elysium, Zoms, or Z-A-U-M, you've heard nothing about it? TLDR from As I Understand It, the studio Z-A-U-M, or Zom, who made Disco Elysium, got a bunch of investment during the development of Disco Elysium, and because Disco Elysium was a flat structure and had no real studio management, the original founders of the studio got forced out by the investors and are supposedly now making a Disco Elysium sequel and movie, designed to be more palatable to a mainstream audience and, what's the word? Easier to monetize the video game, with the goal of making it into a franchise, and something to do with the original creators saying, hey, if you want to buy it, please steal it. Because they're not getting any money from it. So they're going to ruin it. Kind of seems like it, but I was just curious if anybody here was like up on what was going on there. Because that's like my homework for post stream tonight and tomorrow, is like figure out what the fuck's going on there. Because like I started seeing it initially last night while I was getting ready for bed and was like, it's too late right now. I will do that tomorrow. And then I kind of slept in today and didn't have a chance this morning, so. But I just saw like Disco Elysium pop up on Steam and was like, actually, I wonder what's going on with that. A game I still haven't actually had the chance to play. I will play it eventually. Gotta say, gosh, this is taking way too long. It's almost like digging up an entire mountain takes forever. Yeah, which is why I'm like, I'm never going to stream that game, because there are people that will always refuse to watch it because it's one of those games that you should play, not watch. And I have not felt like playing a CRPG in my own time, because most of the games I feel like playing on my own time are like Need for Speed Heat and not games that require thinking. So the result is I think I'll just never play it. What, is Disco Elysium good? I mean, it's widely lauded as one of the best, like, RPGs of the last 30 years. So I would say yes. It won, like, every award. And it's very rare to have just, like, incredible art, design, and writing all in the same place. My older sister loved it. Her and her husband played through it. I gave it to them for Christmas a couple years ago when it came out. I actually know quite a bit about it. I've listened to quite a few podcasts about it, but that's one of those games where like the spoilers just make me want to play it more. You know, it's impossible for me to read the abbreviation DE Stone without me immediately thinking Digital Eclipse or Definitive Edition. That's what those two words mean. That's what those two letters together mean to me. It's either Digital Eclipse or Definitive Edition. Also, chat room investments are open if you want to invest your tickets. Once again. Animal traps. Glass animal. Oh. Animal trap. Is it 2 or 3 that you wanted? 2. Sure, that too chaps. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4 more layers that we need to dig out realistically. Although 3, and then I can start planning my canals. Be fun. Has all that lava dried up yet? It's working on it. You know, I keep forgetting just like the scale of the amount of rock I'm moving right now with this project until I zoom out, and then I'm like, oh right, that's a lot of rock. That's why this is taking time. You have a good night, Farana. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out today, as per usual. You've been thinking again on a game that you were mildly obsessed with as a teen? What game? And then realized someone... Okay, now I'm curious. What game was it? It was like when... Transantarctica. No idea what that is. One of my moderators was talking about Fantastic Contraption. Which is a classic game. Classic DOS-era physics puzzles game. And then I linked him Crazy Machines, which is literally the spiritual successor. Now I'm like kind of curious, what is Transantarctica? To Google. Oh, it's like a trains game. You know, not to be like mean or anything to this trains game here, but I'm pretty sure that this is just straight up a skin of another game. Looks cool though. High Fleet is basically that same game, but much better in every sense. You know what's interesting about High Fleet though? Is High Fleet was in development for, it was like almost 15 years. So and then another 5 to get past that. Good Lord, Spooky. 15 years. So the developers of High Fleet made a game called Hammer what? No, not Hammer Watch. Hammer Fall? Hammer something. No, Hammer Fight. That was it. Not Hammer Fall. Not Hammer Watch. Hammer Fight. They made this. They made this to get funding to continue the development of High Fleet. So they made this PvP airship physics game. It's apparently free to play now. It used to be $5. But this thing was made to continue the development of High Fleet. Like they were developing High Fleet and they'd like got the engine working and such. But they paused the development of this to go make Hammer Fight to continue the development of High Fleet. So I kind of wanted to stream High Fleet, but every single time that I looked at streams of it, because I watched a couple streams of it trying to decide if I wanted to stream it, and I really did want to stream it. All of the comments were just like either A, backseating, or B, going, there's too much visual noise on the screen, I can't see what's happening. And you know what? I agree. So I don't think that game would fit very well for streaming. Yeah, apparently the balancing in it is abysmal though. And after listening to a podcast about it, that game has some gotcha moments at like the last few levels that if you didn't plan, or in the last few eras of the campaign, that if you weren't planning for them from the beginning, you can get completely fucked over and like not be able to finish the campaign just because you didn't prepare correctly for everything and there's no way you could have known, like that kind of thing, which kind of sucks if you ask me. So like I completely agree with you, but at the same time it's like there's quite a few things about that game where I'm just like, it's kind of a bummer more than anything. There we go. Looks like literally all we needed was pots. What does this do? It makes me put my hair down. Or put it back up. It makes me just swap where my hair is at. So now my hair's down. You know, nobody's used that in like 3 weeks. And now 2 people have used it today. What are the odds? Because, you know, I got to show off all of the hair that I have sometimes. You know? Although there was one time I had my hair down like this and someone asked if my hair was in pigtails. Like, no, it's just kind of what happens when you have big headphones. Unless I do this. Part it. But then I kind of hate the way this feels. That you can only overcome if you've been playing the political game well. Sure, but like as somebody who likes big strategy games with big long campaigns, I hate it when they do that. That part sucks. So I don't know. Regardless, I was eventually turned off of streaming High Fleet. Now I just look like, I kind of hate the way I look with headphones over my hair. It looks weird. Like it's never gonna feel normal to me. No. That's not what I'm saying. You'd have to pay me thousands of dollars an hour to do that. Or raise a fuckload of money for charity. But no. Too much pride to do shit like that. You're also talking to somebody who hasn't played a game, who hasn't played the game that you're talking about, right, Chubbs? The only opinions I have are regurgitated opinions from the 4 people I listened to who talked on a podcast about it, who all really didn't like the ending. So, bam. I love it how often like I say things spooky and then the audience is just like, so you're saying exactly the opposite of the thing you just said? No. Not at all. Not sure how you got that out of that statement, but okay. And we're back at our population limit. Deeply uncomfortable by by appearance or culture. Very friendly, always tries to say nice things, dreams of mastering a skill. How do you feel about the military? Somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. Terrible. Okay, well, instead, I'm just going to give you mining then. Go grab a pick. We'll see you on the hills. And I'm going to make a joke. No. Some things aren't funny, even if you suggest them. Also, chat, since we're kind of quiet right now and I don't feel like staring at the dumb thing that Spooky was making a joke out of anymore, can I get a round of beers, please? This is the first time I've actually asked for this today. Just type in the word beer. Let's see how many beers we can get. I'm curious about how many people are listening to the stream right now. B-I-I-R? Is that like tall beer? We're about to go make dinner? Why not beer for dinner? Beer is good with all 12 meals of the day. Hey, we finally finished making another 1,000 green glass blocks. Working on those green glass pots as well. I think once we're done with this large layer being cut off, I think what we're gonna do is mostly just... Yes, Mayor, you can go pick up equipment and come help us mine. Once we're done with this current layer, I'm gonna be a little bit more specific about where we want the trenches. And we're gonna start lining that stuff. This is going to be another fortress that I'm not going to be able to re-embark on. It's actually probably plenty. It's plenty. Okay. Give this whole glass industry a break. Because I'm thinking... Actually, no, I am going to need to go down another layer. Tisk. Well, let's just get more dwarves on mining. Like this one. Onyx. Go grab us a pick. Or you. Go grab a pick. You 2. You 3. You 12. Oh, shit. Tapioca's been possessed. Well, I mean, the mines would imply you going under. Well, I guess it's kind of a pit mine, isn't it? It's more like to the Volcano Reshaping Society, less of a to the mines. Got a boyer in a strange mood, which means I'm probably going to need to make a boyer shop, aren't I? Yep. Hopefully somebody has crossbow making. Someone should go make that boyer's shop. Need someone with crossbow making. There you go. We are, in fact, digging. We're just reshaping a volcano instead of, just digging. And Tapioca runs down. Claims the thingy. It ran fine on my 1070. Almost everything maxed out with the exception of like a few fancy anti-aliasing effects. It ran at 60 FPS, no issue. So I would imagine you would be similar. Like, it ran 0 issue on my computer, so I would imagine it would be similar for yours. I'm okay. As okay as you can be. What are all of these dwarves doing all of a sudden? Is literally all of this them putting away this refuse? It's like it's not that big. What is this? Elevate your message? It lets you pin a message to the top of chat for an amount of time for an exorbitant amount of money. The notifications are minimal. I don't even know when you've done it unless I look at chat. It's a feature that I hope Twitch gets rid of that they're currently testing. I get 70% of the money, but that's less than that because after transfer fees and all that crap, it actually comes out to about 50%. It's basically just a very inefficient method of tipping that Twitch is testing, which makes them more money than just tipping. Seems worthless. Pretty much. Yeah, it's basically just super chats from YouTube, but worse than super chats, which is impressive. Hey, Carol Kobold. You fixed your internet. Yay! Solution was to give up and buy a wireless card. Oh, no. Buying stuff bad. At least you have internet, though. To be fair, I used Wi-Fi cards. Actually, I used USB Wi-Fi sticks for years. Back when I lived with my parents because they refused to let me run cables through the walls. Weird, right? I mean, come on. You'd think that, like, letting a 15-year-old, like, rewire your house would be a good idea. I just wanted to put Cat 5 cables in all the walls. Like, that, I would think that would make the house more valuable, but my parents insisted it would make the house less valuable, so. I have a question. Why not just go buy a new router? Or, like, yell at ISP to give you a new router, depending on whether or not you're leasing one. That, to me, makes more sense than to buy a wireless card. But yeah, what I'll say about the elevate your message stuff, Armor, is if you want to try it, go nuts. But keep in mind, it's not a very good feature. And that's kind of my whole opinion on it. It's like, if you want to use it, go nuts. I won't stop you guys. But it's not my preferred method of you throwing money at my face. But if you want to try it out just for fun, to post, look, Ma, I'm wasting money or something stupid like that, then by all means, go nuts. Or just being like just some old guy and just putting, I know it's cheaper to get the wireless card. I'm just saying, like, that's not the best solution. If the better solution is like to replace the broken thing, why not replace the broken thing? Because like if the Ethernet ports on your router are dying, that means probably the router itself is worse for wear, which means you probably just need a new router. Even if it's more expensive to buy the new router, why not just buy the new router? But rough pineapple opals, 2 pieces of green glass, diorite, brilliant cuts, tanzanites, yep, and durian wood logs, and date palm logs at a Boyer shop. You're not known for good ideas? Noted. Well, I never implied that you were. I was just simply stating that would have been my solution, is to simply replace the whole router at that point. You wired your house to get a cable connection downstairs? I mean, I didn't care if it was simple or not. I was just going to grab a drill and drill a hole in the floor, but my parents didn't let me for some odd reason. I'm mostly being sarcastic about the parents not letting me part. I was very enthusiastic about putting a hole in the floor. My parents just simply didn't want me to put a hole in the floor. And you know what? I don't blame them. But all I'm saying, okay, to give you an idea on the layout of my parents' old house, right? Upstairs in the kitchen, there was a little desk that had my parents' computer at it and the router, right? Directly beneath that was my dad's office. And my dad literally took a drill, put a hole in the floor, put a hole in the like ceiling of the lower floor, and fed a cable through for his computer. I wanted to do the same thing, but one room over. So I wanted to wire a cable up onto the ceiling, along the ceiling, down the wall, and then exactly the same thing, but into my bedroom, which was right next to my dad's office. Or alternatively, put a hole in the side of my dad's office into my bedroom so I could do the same thing and have a wired connection. But my parents wouldn't let me extend the cable by an extra 5 meters and then do the same thing elsewhere in the house because they said that would drop the value of the house. Whereas to my insistence was they'd already done it. So why not just let me extend the damage you've already done to your own house by simply, you know, giving me an internet connection as well. That was my great idea as like a 15-year-old. Instead, I just moved out to get better internet. For reference, we had like about 5 up, 5 down at that house internet, and that was after we got faster internet. And on Wi-Fi, it was about 0.2 up and about 1 down. It was very slow. Put box in wall, put an Ethernet jack in wall. That would look like a plug in the wall. Sure. I mean, like we went over all of these different options, but if it included putting a hole in wall, my parents didn't want me to do it. And you know what? I don't blame them. Tapioca, the boyer, has created Giggy Cat. Giggy Ninny Cat. It's Giggy Ninny Cat. Giggy Ninny Cat. A date palm wood bow and claims it as a family heirloom. Giggy Ninny Cat is fly-chained. It's a date palm wood bow. All crafts dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval diorite cabochons and oval cut pineapple opals. It is decorated with baguette-cut green glass gems, and this object is adorned with hanging rings of durian wood and menaces with spikes of date palm wood. On the item is an image of a forgotten beast in tanzanite. On the item is an image of dwarves in green glass. Dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Stonewater by the scorching lobster of the rim of Savants in the early spring of 241. Phantasmic. But yeah, if it included like putting did you see that, Tapioca? That was me reading your dwarves artifact. You made a palm bow. You wanted a boyer. Well, you just made a palm bow, an artifact palm bow, as said boyer. So congrats. You're not just a boyer. You're now a legendary boyer. Whatever am I gonna do with you? Although I will say, you feel satisfied after making an artifact. And pleasure after remembering a fine door. You're both cool and useless. Yeah, it's fantastic. You're good at being useless. Not only are you useless, but you're good at it. It's the most dangerous type of useless person. How's it hanging? Nothing's really hanging right now. We're all quite comfy currently. But pretty decent if I had to put a feeling on it. Just chilling, you know, doing the dwarfy things. Just casually reconstructing a mountain to be able to have lava flows in exactly the way that I want. So we are reconstructing, so the mountain used to go all the way up to here. We're making progress. It used to go all the way up to here, and we're slowly cutting. Slowly cutting. How's Zaloro? By the way, in Long Death, your vampire dwarf is probably the oldest thing in the world at this point, except for, like, you know, some elves, maybe. But decent, good to hear. I mean, you're going to be the last thing alive in the fortress. If I had to bet. It's kind of funny because I have all of the dwarves' thoughts set to pop up, like, as announcements, right? And every now and again, like, I'll see your vampire just saying something about loneliness or, like, eternal despair, or I can't take it anymore. Stuff like that. It's like, oh no, this berserk vampire that's been berserk for like several hundred years is just like crying in the corner. Playing the long game, though. I respect it. You know, Long Death's vampire. Not in this fort's vampire. Alright, so. It's time to make my final connector to this. You know what? If I actually just, like, cut through these. I'm gonna have to redo it anyway. You know what? Let's just do it topside. Trying to think about how I could do this. I see how I can do this. Mist Runner's given birth to a boy. Congratulations to Mist Runner. Oh, that's their emotional state. Okay, I gotcha. Gotcha. But yeah, you know, things are hanging pretty good. Pretty excited about some of the stuff coming out of the next fest for Steam. Working on a new-ish fortress, which has been fun. Playing with glass and soon to be obsidian once I can actually get this lava flow correct. Having a good time with that. Messing around with Dwarf Fortress is always a fun time, and learning mechanics and then unlearning mechanics and then relearning mechanics repeatedly is also a fun time. Always entertaining. I don't know. I mean, like, the thing that I've been saying for a while, with the Steam release, like, post-PAX, right? Like, the main thing that, like, Zach and Tarn really kind of hammered home at PAX was they're really just waiting on art at this point. They need the remainder of the art. And in order to get the remainder of the art, their artist needs to draw it. And he can't work around the clock. It's not his full-time job. And what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not his full-time job. He can't work around the clock, and he's moving. So at some point in October, which is the month we are now in, Iron Hand is moving, and if the art's not done by October, it won't come out this year. So I mean, based on, like, what Zach said in the report, or was it what Zach said? Based on what Toady said in the... Yeah, this. Thanks to everybody who helped out in September. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm just fixing stuff up while Zach tests, and we get the last builds and flushes and stuff drawn. We don't have a date yet since holidays are weird and certain stars need to align still, but things are going really well. Those certain stars are art. As for holidays being weird, they don't want to release in December, because December is the worst time of year to release a video game, just period. Because there's the most competition for releases in December. Late November, early December is the worst time of year to release a video game. And that's just kind of a fact. So, it's one of those... maybe sooner than you think, but also maybe not. And it's hard to say one way or another. Although I think it was Kid Fox that said maybe sooner than you think, right? You know what? Kind of a really silly way that we could do this. I mean, not really silly, but... Is that... Fortification? Okay. I'm making a magma cauldron to dump water on. We're going to be making obsidian. Just trying to get the flow correct. And now I'm making it unnecessarily complicated because I'm still trying to get the flow correct. I underestimated the amount of flow speed I'd need for Volcano, and I feel like I always do this because I do Volcano Forts so infrequently, and I'm used to the flow speed of like lava pumps that whenever I try and do stuff with just volcanoes, I always vastly underestimate and end up just, you know, not having enough lava ever. Just like a funny problem to have and to say out loud, but it's the truth. I always end up with nowhere near enough lava. Please tell me I'm not out of mica. Sweet, I'm not out of mica. What, lava not flowing fast enough? Yeah, pretty much. I'm also carving an entire mountaintop because I have some pretty lofty plans I need to start constructing. To put it simply, I have some pretty lofty plans. There's also going to be a bunch of random doors in the middle of this. Sure that door's still forbidden. It is. Let anybody's cat walk through it. But yeah, no, I currently all I really have to say is I hope it'll come out this year, but even if it doesn't, I'm not going to lose sleep. I mean, like, there's always going to be other games to play. One thing that I will say is a little bit exhausting, though, is all of the comments of like, man, I think I'm going to die before this game comes out. It just like, worry. Makes me worry from, like, the people watching my YouTube videos. It's just like, are you telling me you can't live another 6 months? Like, people talk about game releases like it's such a life or death situation. It's like, guy, like, unless you are 72 years old and on your deathbed, I think you'll probably still be alive when premium releases. Like, it's not such a crazy, never-ending cycle, you know? The game will release eventually, believe it or not. And if it's not this year, it will be next year. But I guess people just find that kind of hard to believe. All right, that's already been carved. Let's actually just dig that out and redo this. I realize where I've screwed this up. Is there really a door there? Okay, there is. Means I need to get rid of this door. Dwarves have arrived. Yeah, that, and it's also super like stressful. It's like if you were actually on your deathbed and desperately wanted to play Dwarf Fortress before you died, like you could. You absolutely could. You know? Like that's not what's stopping you from playing. And don't try to tell me that it is what's stopping you from playing. All right, so hopefully Dwarf can run up here. Wait, actually, hold up. Don't actually do what I just told you to do there, Dwarf. But yeah, it is significantly funnier because I'm actually just playing it right now. All right, Dwarf, is there a particular reason why you chose that side to do this? Because you know that this is just going to get you completely stuck, right? This fort's laggy because of all the channeling that we're still doing. All right, now the real important question is, can we channel out another thing without, you know, drowning the entirety of the fortress in lava? That's always the question. Can we do it without drowning them in lava? Did you really just do that there, Dwarf? You really did just do that. Aviz, you're a genius. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Idiot. All right, let's just dig through this. Yazan from the Mountain Homes. I will simply request gold. Not worry about it, because there's really nothing we need in the fort at this point. Our fortunes will rise and fall together, yada yada. Okay, let's just get schist blocks put in there. And Dolmas. will you successfully dig out that channel? Literally nobody's died in there yet. That's so impressive to me. They should all have died. But somehow, all of them managed to get in and out without dying. Waited 25 years for a remake of a French game. The trick is going to concerts and reading comics and having a life. Yeah, the trick is going outside and thinking about other things. Yeah, that's a piece of advice I think many people on the internet are incapable of taking, to be honest with you. All right, let's get this flowing. Hopefully this will finally be enough. I can do one more if I need to, but... Here comes the lava. And the lava. But yeah, no, that's the best advice that, like, no one on the internet will ever take, is the classic line of, you know, just going outside and getting a life is the best way to make waiting for things that you're very excited for tolerable, you know? I mean, my favorite example repeatedly up and, like, as long as I've been waiting for Dwarf Fortress has just been Bannerlord. It's because, like, Bannerlord is a game that I have waited for significantly longer than Dwarf Fortress. Like, significantly longer. Oh. I ran out of lava-safe materials. That is okay, though. Kind of makes me sad that I can't make glass. Actually, yeah, no, I can't make green glass mechanisms. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that that's ever something you'll get. Can you please bring some asbestos suits? We've got a hobby that we need. Thanks for lurking, by the way. Render. Frame rate sped up, which leads me to believe that I am correct. Volcano stuff is ready for me to queue up more. So I can wreck the frame rate again. Yay! Hey chat, let's play fuck up my frame rate. And keep doing that until this thing is done. It's funny, because Oswix was here earlier, and he's like, I heard lava and cannons, and it's like, well, yes, but first I want to build my moat. This is going to take a while. This is becoming a ridiculously big project. I was initially planning on this being a pretty small project. Like, yeah, this will be a nice small project. Anyway, then I carved a whole mountain into the shape I needed it to be to actually pull off the project. And suddenly, it's not a short project anymore. But how's your lurks going, Brander? How many miners are there? Enough. The problem isn't the amount of miners. It's just the act of doing this much channeling does a number on pathing. So the game slows down. So time to watch Dwarves? Hell yeah! I was just informed that a concert that I was supposed to go to tonight was canceled. Honestly, I think that's a good thing, because I'd completely forgotten it was happening in the first place. This was a concert that I bought tickets for like 2.5 years ago, I'd say at this point. Well, get money back? Yeah, apparently refunds on. I literally just received an email from the ticket purchasing service saying, due to unforeseen circumstances, the concert for Psychedelic Porn Crumpets has been canceled. I forgot that was happening. This is supposed to be tonight. So they canceled it the morning of. Which means I guess I'm getting $60. You forgot that you bought Rammstein tickets? Oh, and did they get canceled too? I just assume all concerts are canceled at this point, so I just tend to forget that they're happening. That's funny, but also kind of sad, because I would like to see them at some point. What am I waiting for? Why are all concerts canceled? There's a really good video that Herman Lee recorded on it, but it's a combination of travel costs and lack of transportation and lack of consistent and bookable transportation, and flying being an absolute clusterfuck. It used to be really easy for bands to just book a tour bus and book a truck or a van to drive all their shit and get visas and all that crap, and just the state of the world in the last 2 years has made that whole process 1,000 times more complicated. It's got like almost nothing to do with COVID at this point. It's travel bottlenecks. So she's quite excited. Who's she seeing? Is it somebody I know? Like, is it somebody super famous? Hope she has fun. Concerts are fantastic. But yeah, any band that isn't from like the Canada or the US that's touring Canada or US, I just assume from like just straight up that it's canceled. Oh, K-pop band? Send her with glow sticks. Make sure she has glow sticks. Need those glow sticks. Glow sticks very important for K-pop. Blackpink? Not familiar with that one in particular.
Hello.
Hello! How are you, Irish Stupid? Thanks for the $1. Thank you for using bits and not the silly elevated silliness. But how you been, Irish Stupid? Typical manufactured girl band, excellent production and perfect marketing and boring. Yep, like 99.9% of K-pop. Speaking of K-pop, chat, can I get a round of beers? Because IR Stupid decided to throw money at my face. You tried using the elevated chat message and you're not, and it's not available? Good. Because I can't see them. The elevated chat messages just look like normal lines of chat for me. There's no way for this streamer to distinguish between elevated chat and normal chat. Except if I look over at my dashboard, it says that it was an elevated chat. I can't even see it on my own stream. It's like a third implemented. It's like the part where you pay money is implemented, and then like all of the features where it's supposed to tell streamers that you've elevated a chat message isn't implemented, which is goofy beyond all reason. This is going to be Twitch's lowest cash grab yet. I don't know about that. I think Twitch's lowest cash grab was that very, very, very brief window where you could just pay Twitch to promote a stream that you liked. And the streamer got none of it. That existed for like a weekend, and a couple of streamers were able to test it, and then it went away because everyone's like, this is fucking stupid. Like Chinese alternative metal, or like what kind of music are you referring to? Yep, because there's some like legit great like Chinese and Japanese and Korean alternative metal and hardcore bands out there. The anti-establishment Chinese hardcore bands are the best. There's not very many of them, but there's a few of them. Also, investments are open. You didn't even hear of that? Yeah, it was a very, very, very brief thing. Like, I didn't even mention it because it wasn't worth mentioning. Because it was like, it popped up on like a Thursday, and I remember mentioning it once on stream, and it was gone by Tuesday the next week. They went a bit all over the whole scene. The problem is they have to find venues and how they began. Interesting. Investments are up again if people care. But yeah, Twitch has had some pretty shitty sellout like options a while ago, and most of them like didn't land. Fortunately, I don't even care if they keep the elevated chats thing as a permanent feature. Like, I know right now there's quite a few streamers that are just like, elevated chat should go away. It's like, nah, they can leave it. I don't care. It's kind of a stupid feature, and if people really want to use it, they can. I'll probably just ignore it and not really incentivize it in any way, which is like how I choose to acknowledge a lot of Twitch's features. Just pretend it doesn't exist and just move on with my life. Punk from Peking. Not familiar, but I'm not familiar with that group at all, Rolf. But sounds fun. Punk is often fun. Someone just left a really shitty comment on my most recent part 1 of a VOD. I'm just gonna respond, bruh, and just leave it. Sometimes, like, I get briefly tempted to just be like, I should just delete this comment. But in reality, it's like, nah, you're just being a cunt. That's all it is. Got really angry that all that music is locked onto their internet. You know, honestly, like, that's the one really nice thing about, like, Russian alternative music is it's available on, like, all parts of the internet. It's easy to get your hands on it. Also, there's a lot, not a lot, but there's an interesting, like, underground hardcore scene coming out of UAE. If you also want to find, like, weird punk, you know, like a country that will put women, or at least for a time, would put women in prison for singing. It's like, and then you just, like, look up, like, these shady videos of just people with their faces blacked out, just, like, screaming. It's like, all right, I'm in. Let's go. Let's keep this shit real. What am I working on right meow? I'm carving a volcano to do my bidding. Well, it used to go all the way up to here, and I've started channeling it down and down and down, and it's going to feed my moat soon. Yep. Yeah, United Arab Emirates. Sorry. I stumbled on a, I can't remember any of the names of the bands, but I stumbled on the BBC article basically talking about, it's like, it was kind of a clickbaity headline, but it ended up being a really interesting piece about how bands from the United Arab Emirates that have female vocalists who would go to prison if they got caught performing, essentially, was what it was covering. And it was an interesting piece. They also have a really neat hip-hop scene. Also a really neat, like, African underground hip-hop scene from smaller countries in Africa. But yeah, I don't know. Exactly. Baron. Beer. That's the answer. Always beer. Man, I was going to trade with you, but I was waiting for them to finish making the 100 spiked green glass, but yes, I am carving a volcano to do my bidding, which is pretty dwarfy, damn it. Like, you can't really get more dwarfy than I am building a volcano to do what I want it to do. As I'm slaughtering elephants for burgers. That's what I'm doing right now. Slaughtering elephants for burgers and, like, rebuilding a volcano. Wow, that's gonna take a while. Give me a sec. Gotta scroll up a bunch. What was the last time I streamed? It was the 29th? Okay, unimaginatively napping. Sheep count falafels for scientific inquiries. Those Orinic defenstrated cows are dreamy. Soon, Manchun, past Mordenkainen's intentions, shall awaken mansions. Common vulgrants to the wall. Microplastics infest ecosystems. Rats ate explosive ammunition. Cats also prevaricate fast enough to escape the law. Cool purple shrews dance jigs to avert predatory ants. Goodness has forsaken my favorite plants again. Breakfast. We're all caught up. And thank you for making me read the word story. And thank you, chat, for taking part in that dumb habit. I'm trying to figure out how I should do this. I think that there's... I'm going to kind of ask you guys about what you think is cooler. I could either kind of go down one more level and then just dig a trench and, like, use a trench. But kind of my other thought is, what if I just go all the way across, like, this upper layer and dig down one level and then just let the lava pour in and fill up this entire thing and just have, like, a large... like, mouth to the volcano. Because, like, Dwarf Fortress's volcano mouths are really not that interesting, you know? I think it would be much kind of a lot cooler to do it the second way. That, or we could just dig down to here and just use trenches. I mean, we can still end up using trenches, but... I'm kind of thinking about just channeling this down one more layer and then just cutting the top of the volcano off and just letting it fill. I think that would be really cool. Like, just aesthetically. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it let's do it the way that I favor. I like it when I start asking chat for feedback and then very quickly realize that I'm just gonna do it the way that I'm asking anyway. It's like, why am I even asking? I should just do it the way that I'm thinking about doing it because I think it'll look cool. But we should take this down a little further. Give us a little bit more of a base in here. All right, we'll just let them carve out the last of that. And then I'm thinking about hollowing this out and making this into some sort of tower thing. Just because, like, this is just so cool looking. Like, maybe put a library in here or something. I don't know. We'll think of something. No? Okay. I thought I saw a combat icon up here, and then it's like, nope, the most recent one is the KV boar biting the Minotaur. Giving us, like the G-Man, an illusion of joy. Yes, just like the G-Man. Naturally. G-Man was on your mind? Fair enough. You know what's been on my mind? You know how NVIDIA announced all of that RTX modding stuff for DX, it's 8, 9, and 10 games? Thief is a DX8 game, which means Thief is compatible with that ray tracing stuff. Makes me really, 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 really hope we get like System Shock and Thief ray traced. How's the stream today? Yeah, so far it's just been Stonewater. I'm kind of planning on playing some Zero Sievert though. Today's stream's been flying by for me. I'm just, you know, doing this, carving a mountain to do my bidding. Oh yeah, I know that they're doing a remake of System Shock 2. But they're doing a remake of System Shock 1. They're making a System Shock 3. Don't know about System Shock 2. But the remake that you're thinking of is System Shock 1. But it's like Deep Silver who has the rights to System Shock to make System Shock 3, so I'll be shocked if that ever actually comes out. Ha! What I did there? No, it's System Shock. The remake is System Shock. Yeah, this is the first System Shock. Okay, System Shock. I've never been so System Shocked in my life, no. It's not just a name when it's the exact same game, just with modern mechanics, but... They're very different games, too. System Shock 1 is more big open levels. System Shock 2 is much more Deus Ex-y. You know, it's funny because I just bought a new graphics card, right? I just bought a 3070, which is getting shipped. Or to a store, which I will then go pick up probably Friday. Hopefully by Friday. Not Friday, then Monday. So I just bought a new graphics card, but I bought a 3070. I used the money that, well, a chunk of the money that Animal and Navy threw at me last month, as well as everybody else with all the gift subs. And I bought a 3070 because 3070s are like affordable now. But like those 40 series cards are just ridiculous, like absolutely ludicrous. Like nobody needs that much power. It's like it's stupid. the amount of actual like additional benefits you get from those newer cards is like yeah, I don't need that. 3070 is more than enough of an upgrade from my 1070, thanks. Well, I can't yet, but I will be able to. And I will be honest, the killer app that made me go, man, I need ray tracing is this. This is the killer app. Is the mod from Lightspeed Studios to ray trace Portal. Because I play through Portal every Christmas. And I was like, I saw that pop and I was like, fuck! I think I'm buying a new graphics card. So here I am buying a new graphics card to play Portal. Ray tracing is lying. No, that's the cake. You're mistaken. Ray tracing is very much true. Walter's speeding to be the first serving a table. I mean, I'm not familiar with tray racing, so I figured you were just trying to manufacture spoonerism. Nope. Well, I mean, we probably do. Am I aware of or give a shit? Absolutely not. That's more of what it is I just don't care. So hopefully this will actually... work. 200 meters away, the joke plays itself. I mean, it sounds like a very serious competition for a very specific kind of person, and if you're making fun of it, you're just being mean. So maybe you're just a bully, actually. I think that that's probably a very serious competition, and I think that the fact that you're openly mocking waiter racing on a 200-meter course, I think that just makes you into a cyberbully, and I think that you need to seek help. Thanks, Irish Dude, for checking out again. So, cheers, man. Sorry, sometimes I can't even take myself too seriously. So I think we're gonna do this one chunk at a time. Now you need to reconsider certain prejudices. I mean, it would be like calling the International Barista World Championships as a joke. I mean, the Barista World Championships is a very serious competition, which one of my favorite YouTubers ever competed in. And and that on its surface also sounds very stupid, but I can assure you it isn't. Did that ever? Oh shit. It did. It did. Okay, so we finally have enough lava to actually fill up the lava tub thing. So I need to check in on this in a little bit because it is filling. It is filling. I want it to be like 5 of 7 full, and then I pull a lever and then it goes psss, and then I need to figure out some way of speeding that thing up because it's working way too slowly. No, they just very, very expertly make and present drinks and do really fancy latte art and shit. It's less showmanship and more presentation. It's kind of like a cooking competition where it's less about the presentation and more, or it's less about the showmanship and more about the presentation. I mean, to be fair, clowns are terrifying. Like, and that's just kind of a fact. So, face paint is terrifying. Besides, waiters don't get paid enough, meaning I feel like they should probably get more credit. Most of this seems to be diorite. All right, well, we just got to get that done. Go, plunk. Found like a weird bug. Where stuff blinks if there was a ramp there. If you had the ramps designated to be removed and then remove the thing that's holding up the ramps and then the ramps disappear. Waiting for my last dwarf to come and remove that ramp. There you is. Tygo, look at that. Coming in to remove the ramp. And then we can begin this. The channeling of that there lava. Go remove the ramp first. Then we'll get a pretty good idea of how this is going to look. Yeah, that doesn't fly here. They get paid generally minimum wage unless it's a really nice restaurant, in which case then they get paid above minimum wage, but you're still expected to tip. Generally, if I go to a place that I like, I tip about 10 to 15%. Sometimes up to 20 if I have extra money. I almost made a rhyme. So we're going to follow Onyx here. You're going to claim that Raph's Dwarf Shop. We're going to witness this. Kind of sad that these ramps are appearing, but not much I'm going to be able to do about that. This is actually going better than I expected it. This is filling way faster than I thought it would. I was expecting this to be a much slower process. It looks pretty good so far. Not bad. I mean, it's shocking to me as somebody who lives right next door to America. Although, for whatever it's worth, up until, I want to say about 2011, here we had this thing called legal training wage, which was something companies could get away with paying you if you weren't considered a full employee yet. So if you were still in training, they could pay you what was considered to be legal training wage. And training wage was usually a couple dollars below minimum wage. I remember at one point in like 2008 being told that it was $4.25 when minimum wage was $8. And McDonald's was notorious for hiring you at minimum training wage. And if you didn't get a promotion or do anything particularly noteworthy, they would stop scheduling you more than one shift a week after you got to minimum wage. That was a very big problem that McDonald's had for a very long time. Until finally, people just got fucking pissed off with them, and they got lobbied against, and then my province made it illegal, and then, as far as I know, the rest of Canada doesn't have it anymore either. That was something we had for a really long time, was legal training wage. My hiking pictures on Twitter are awesome. I mean, it's the only legitimate reason to follow me on Twitter. But thank you, H2O. Hope that you've been doing well. It was a fun hike. It took, well, I mean, my calves are still kind of sore. I've been stretching daily, but it was, it was like 27 kilometers in one day on day 2. First day was like 6. Second one, we did 27 in a day. It was like 12 hours of hiking. 14 total, I think. We left at 9 a.m. and we got back to the car at the end of day 2 at 10 minutes to 11. Walmart still does that in the U.S. minimum wage. If you get a raise, you get one shift every 2 weeks, really? Yep. That's fucked up. Yeah, no, it's not legal to do that anymore. Can you link an old newspaper picture? Go nuts. There's no rules of thinking things, as long as you're, like, not directly self-promoting or anything. Or posting adult content, but I'm pretty certain that these are fully clothed waiters. Adam, the engraver, has created Thilsagfash, an Adicite-toyed axe. Claims it as a Hamley Fairloom. You know, initially I started doing the Hamley Fairloom thing as like just a bit, and now it's kind of just become habit. Anyway, we've got a toy axe. It's worth 67,200. It's called Tarnish Parch. This is a Adicite toy axe. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with marquee cut pineapple opals and baguette cut tanzanites, and decorated with dog leather, and encircled with bands of rectangular Adicite cabochons. This object menaces with spikes of lime wood, and on the item is an image of point-cut gem and dog leather. On the item is an image of the old romances, a phallic crown, and tanzanite. Hamley Fairloom, yes, that's how I say family heirloom. How goes the channeling? I mean, we're making progress. As you can see, we've made it down to one level above the volcano, and I'm making the volcano head much more impressive looking. I mean, let's be honest, the default volcanoes are always just like a little tiny. So I'm embiggening it a bit. The only problem that I've realized with this enlarging of the volcano is now that I've channeled down this far, magma crabs can just climb out now. Previously, they couldn't because there was like 8 Z levels on either side, all the way around it, of just like mountain. Now the magma crabs can just like walk out of this thing. So, but oh well. Sure, it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Aside from like everything. See, it's only humiliating if you allow it to be humiliating, right? You could say that me playing video games on the internet is humiliating, because who would do such a stupid thing? Humiliating is literally your perspective. So for your perspective, you think that this is a silly thing that should be laughed at. Okay. How is running around and kicking a ball any more or less humiliating than running around with a tray? It's a skill that people practice to get good at. How's it humiliating? Come on. Running around with, like, a waiter tray with drinks on it is not easy to do. Carrying multiple plates is a talent. Public speaking is humiliating. There's no... How is that humiliating, Chubbs? It's hardly humiliating. I'd say it's an admirable job. I'm thankful for anyone who wants to be a waiter. Your right arm is still bigger than your left arm just from carrying pizzas? I believe it. Boxing is humiliating because you have to get beaten. Somebody has to get beaten up in public. That's humiliating. I think also cheese rolling is one of the very weird British things, but also a cultural oddity. Yeah, sure. And people travel from around the world to go cheese rolling. I don't know, though. I admire anybody who's willing to compete in, like, any waiter-based competition. I think it's an admirable goal to have. You know, if somebody sets their life goal as I want to be the person to fit the biggest object up my bum and live to tell the tale of it, you know what? More power to them. And there's people out there that actually do that. Is the cheese edible after you roll it? Don't they, like, roll it while still in the wax wrapper? Jesus cheese. Even Muddy Hill cheese? Still cheese. Well, I admire your enthusiasm, chat. And when you all die of food poisoning, I shall, I don't know, eat a cheese wheel in your name. Nobody burned yet. Yep. Spoke too soon. Who even was that? Well, it certainly wasn't DJ ZMX, because you died a while ago. Onyx. Whew. It's the vaulting over part that just makes me go, you guys are about to die. Are you still alive? I assume so. Pablo's still alive somehow. Yeah, you're still alive. Still a weaponsmith. Just because of the topic of that article, I'm going to remove that, because one of the very few rules is please don't post adult material. And I haven't clicked on that article, but to me that reads as too close to adult material for me to allow it in my chat. It's literally the only rule. So I'm just gonna remove that out of the possible concern of that being more than I want in my chat. I don't care. Didn't read the article. I just read the side part, and I don't care. I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. I fucking don't care. Can you just listen to what I had to say, or don't? I don't care. That's it. End of subject. All right, so that's a very good way to lose dwarves. So instead of doing it that way, we're just going to continue doing it the way I was before. Feel free to repost same article in subscriber room on Discord. I don't care what you post there. No, that was definitely a dwarf, so I'm gonna stop doing it the way I was before. They weren't named for whatever it's worth, I don't think. There are no steam clouds when you're digging through lava. It's all smoke. And clearly you weren't paying attention because 2 others went up. a minute ago. So I was just curious if that way was as efficient. No, much slower. And much more death. Speaking of death, let's make some steam. I have 7, perfect. Let's test out this obsidian printer, shall we? Five, 4, 3, 2, whoosh. Not bad. How much water's left? Too much. Okay. Well, it worked. Yeah, Lorbem. There it goes. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to carve fortifications there and there. Actually, let's just start on the... Thanks for 25 cents. Let's start on the far side. I mean, we have Steam and DF already. Who needs DF on Steam? Don't be silly. Come on. So now we just need to pump out the excess. And then we can mine down through all this, and then this is all obsidian. All right, Adam, are you going to get blasted backwards? No. Okay. How about now? Nope. Okay. And I should be able to do the rest of this. Then I just need the top of this water to dry up. This up here. Get this lever pulled. There's our obsidian printer. We literally just need all this stuff to drain. Obsidian! I don't think that's how you spell obsidian, but I won't complain. Oh, wait. Somebody did fall. Remember I was saying, I wonder if anybody's going to fall. Well, somebody did. God damn it. God damn it. All right, well. Whoops. Question is, how the hell am I going to get you out of there? I'll just... dip. Dip 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 dip. Ba-da-ba-da-bap, ba-da-bap. Ba-da-ba-da-bap, ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-bap, ba-da-bap. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Drowning stuff? Unintentionally. But we did, in fact, drown stuff. What's up, City Matt? Thanks for the 50 cents, Darren. It's gonna cancel in a second when it hits the water, but for anybody who's unaware, I'm going to drop a pillar on top of this dwarf so that nobody sees the body. That's my solution. We'll figure out how to get the dwarf out later. But my current solution for this problem is simply drop something heavy on the dwarf so that we don't have to stare at the body, and we'll figure out what to do with it later. That is literally the current solution. Windows is being a wiener and making you reboot? Well, better than Windows being a woozer. You know, one of, I think, the greatest things that I've learned recently is that a jiffy is... Okay, well, that's actually kind of dark. I didn't just drown a mom, but I also drowned her kid. Also, did I get this one tile too far over? Motherfucker, I did. Okay, fine. I might get a baby ghost. No, because I will memorialize it. Onyx, run away! Alright. Well, they found it. Anyway, I need to do this one further over. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it. We'll figure it out later. Actually, no. Let's fill that in with flooring. Section of cavern has collapsed? That's an old notification. Why don't you just cheer $1? Then it's actually gonna like go towards being a hype train. And you can do text-to-speech instead of making me comment on pennies. But I'm just gonna start not saying anything when you cheer less than $1. Because they've been way too frequent recently. If it's once an hour, it's fine. But once every couple minutes, it's fine even. Thanks for the $2. But when it's just like 75 cents, it's like, or 25 cents, it's like, it's hard for me to say anything because it's small amounts. But thanks for the tiny tips. This thing is flooding again.
This is Sparta!
Thanks, Darren. Cheers. To be clear, I'm not complaining about you giving me money, but it's just a lot to pay attention to, as well as also reading chat. All right. So we got to dig all this out. And then I need an obsidian stockpile. So I'm thinking I hollow this area out and make it into an obsidian stockpile. Thanks for the $5, I are stupid. Here's man. And the $3 from Darren. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for the first hype train of the month? Now uncapped, allegedly. I mean, we had a not that it's a competition, but we had a level 14 hype train at the end of last month, which is pretty stupid by my definition. I are stupid. Thanks for gifting a sub to Bastet. 97. God damn, that's a lot of subs. So that's pretty stupid by my definitions. Ban and quivers. Oh, it's not small in the slightest. So I'm starting to discover a few problems with this setup that I'm going to need to actually solve very carefully. Actually, you know what? Let's just whoosh this out and pull this lever again, because I've realized how I need to fix this.
Woo!
I are stupid. Thanks for gifting 3 more subs to bring it up to a total of 100. That's a crazy big number. Cheers, man. Thanks. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for Ire Stupid hitting 100 gift subs in the channel over the last, I don't know, like year and a half, or however long you've been watching me now? It's a crazy amount of time. Also, hey, Krista. What's up? Hey, non-major nerd. How was adventuring? So I think I need like a secondary line of floodgates on this one over here. Otherwise, it's just a little bit too dangerous potentially. Well, this is going to be where we're going to move all of our masonry stuff, I think. Also, hey, Canadian Pagan. And I cut all that out. Gosh, I feel bad about that one. I will set up some sort of rescue operation eventually and reacquire that bot. Actually, I might just plug this whole thing. Wouldn't actually be hard to do that. Actually, I don't know if that would plug it. Yeah, let's try it. Why not? You're off to bed. We'll see you when we see you, Rolf. Go get a good night's sleep and whatnot. You know, actually, let's go one further back. This upper layer thing is looking. This actually looks kind of rad. Like, kind of awesome. Yeah, it's got to be pretty late for you. Go get some sleep, Chups. Thanks for hanging out as per usual. Same with you, Rolf. "30 seconds left if anybody else wants to participate in the hype train. Regardless, though, channel's funded for this month, so you guys don't need to do anything. Like, based on how well the channel did last month, I could make no money this month, and I would still do better than I've done in previous months. All right. This right here needs... Which I also realize is a really bad way for me to, like, promote you guys throwing money at the channel, but... Thanks for the 5 gift subs and the $11.75 in bits. Thanks. Let's see. Does this cave in? I actually don't know. Find out. Come here, Onyx. Don't fall in while you're at it. What? What is holding you up? Oh, actually, I think I know what's holding it up. No, I don't know what's holding it up. I mean, there's fortifications right there. Gotta be the fortifications. You may be able to get back to sleep. Well, you have a good night's sleep then. Why did I do that? Was not the spot I needed deconstructed. All right, you made it. Yeah, of course. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, that's not going to block anything. All right, well, I guess in order to fix this, we need to just, like, fill the whole thing up, and that's fine. But one thing at a time. Back over to this. Let's get this smoothing. Not in here. I'm going to make a stone stockpile. That's only going to be for obsidian. So I saw obsidian here a second ago. There it is. Welcome back, Mr. Runner. So I just need to wait for all that water to dry up, basically. So they're going to suddenly start hauling a lot of obsidian down there is the reality. So I need to add wheelbarrows to that. Let's make 20. I have no idea how many I need. I can tell you this, Mist Runner, your dwarf's still alive. Against all challenges, you're not dead yet. Coin flip in your favor tonight? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we're gonna continue cutting this right to the edge. Oopsies. This is going to take me a long time to dig all the way around it, but it's the safe way to do it, so it's the way I'm going to do it. Because I'd rather not lose more dwarves than I need to. Okay. But regardless, Stone, you have a good night's sleep. And hopefully you're able to get back to sleep. Someone has to wreak havoc in demos, though. I feel bad just, like, ripping demos apart and breaking them on stream. I know it's, like, some people get, like, it gets some people going, but for me, I feel bad. Like, it's the same reason I don't play a lot of betas and stuff on stream, because it's like, man, I don't want to just break the game. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm manufacturing a cooler looking top of a volcano. Because the top of Dwarf Fortress volcanoes just look not great, to be nice. They just look kind of samey, right? So I'm essentially just making a bigger top of the volcano to be more aesthetically awesome, which will then eventually give us a very badass entrance to the fort, ideally. And I'm kind of like envisioning ideas of like how I can have like different channels and like spots with like lava flowing kind of perpetually. And I want to have kind of a manufactured lava spout coming out of the top of this up here and flowing back down into here. So if I can set this whole thing up correctly, it'll be a pretty cool looking spot. As for what it will do practically, not everything needs to be practical or do anything of note. It's just going to look awesome. If it's all functioning, it'll just look awesome. Lava moat? Will be a lava moat. Currently not a lava moat. Currently, I'm doing absolutely nothing to benefit my fortress. Currently, this is just me fucking around on top of a volcano next to my fortress. But in the future, it will be part of a lava moat. Let's just get the rest of that removed. With the exception of, like, I don't know. Maybe not that side, because that will start the lava flowing. Huh? Seems like a dwarf fell off of a ledge or something. But yeah, volcano fortress with lava waterfall and lava moat. Just kind of need to do one before I can do the other. I'm kind of focusing on pointless, cool-looking lava waterfall at the top of a mountain. Although, honestly, like, this might end up just being the entrance to the fort in a way. Like, right now, the fort itself is, like, down here. But I don't know. Maybe this will just become, like, a separate side door courtyard. This will actually be the front door of the fortress. But I need it to be done first. Maybe like we could have like a long walkway or something that they have to walk along over here that then leads us into here. We can have like, maybe we could do it this way. Actually, I'm getting ideas. Don't give me too many ideas. Ideas are dangerous. Ideas are how dwarves die, but I might have an idea. But how you doing, Ultimate Rio and Nomak the knife? Why are you standing on top of that? Jeez. Dwarf made me super nervous for a second. I was like, why are you channeling yourself into lava? That's like next level dwarven dumb. Just Rio's fun. Yeah, but I have to say the full name once. It's just like Stone, aka Seashore's Wall. Say the name once a day. No more than that. Or King the Space Disco Fox. One of my mods. Another one of my mods, actually. Only ever say the name once. Per stream, that is. Although I used to know a guy named Numbers because he was literally just like 32 different numbers at random. I only ever called him Numbers. I never actually like read the numbers. Can you make a drawbridge? Yeah. Can I make a drawbridge? Yes. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Like, I can make a drawbridge without having a lava moat. Literally called Numbers. I feel like Numbers is a relatively common nickname for people's names that are just like 32-bit strings of numbers.
Cheers, blind.
Thank you for the $5. Wendigo. Cheers. Back at you. Holy shit, I've been streaming for 9 hours. When in the fuck did that happen? Oh, his name was just called Numbers? That's funny. It's like all the different people named Barcode. Jack, can I get a round of beers for Wendigo? Helping keep this weird channel funded. And then once all these down here are gone, we're going to get this side flowing. A miner guild has been established. I guess that's what I get for doing so much mining. I might even reject that guild hall. Actually, let me think about putting a miners guild up in here. It'd be super far out of the way. I know I want to do something right there with that. You clearly didn't hear what I said, Gristeth, but that's okay. People tend to hear what they wanted to hear. Not what I said. I said a miners guild. A guild of miners. Nothing weird about it. Only person weird is the person who thinks it's weird. I've never actually, like, reformed a volcano like this. Turns out it looks kind of awesome. I think I might do this with all volcanoes now. Just rebuild the top of it to look more believably like a volcano. The song is slapping. Huh? On the topic of Will Smith, podcaster I listen to has Will Smith on Twitter. Like that, he has that account name because he's also a Will Smith. There was an article about him on Variety because when Will Smith, the actor, sent out his apology for slapping Chris Rock, Will Smith on Twitter, podcaster and game developer, got slammed again by Will Smith actor fans for apologizing. And he's just like, I didn't apologize to anybody because I didn't slap anybody. And then Variety wrote an article about Will Smith, gamer guy, mistaken by Will Smith fans for apologizing to Chris Rock. And all I can say is this whole set of shenanigans has gotten very funny to me. Oh no, you got a problem. I missed a spot. Question is, can dwarves get there in time? Probably not. But, come on, dwarf. It's a race against the lava. Quite literally. Looks like it's our brave butcher, Dastot over here, racing against the... Oh, nope, never mind. Wrong one. Oh, that's not good. Another Minotaur. The Minotaur Vare has come. A giant humanoid monster with the head of a bull. It's right there. Don't you see it? This is really bad timing. So I do have one military dwarf. Who's deadless. Who is training with a steel mace and a bronze buckler. And you know what? Deadless, this is your time to shine. Where the heck's this Minotaur at? Oh, there it is. All the way up top. Deadless, now's your time to shine. Go get him. Chat, who wins? Minotaur or Deadless? My bet's on Deadless. If Deadless wins this fight, Deadless gets a break from training. If Deadless doesn't win this fight, Deadless will be Deadless. Come on, Dwarfy. Yeah, about that. Anyway, did you finish carving that ramp yet? Go do the thing, dwarf. Okay. So my one military dwarf lost the fight. As for the Minotaur, is kind of bruised. Upper arm is bruised. Lower leg is bruised. And Minotaur appears to be fighting with my llamas. Dwarves is walking past it. That was a lot of teeth. This is a second Minotaur, by the way. Only one. They're all just kind of walking past it, like terrified while in conflict. Just keeps walking. I've also realized in the last 2 minutes that I really, really, really need to start making clothes. How am I doing for cloth? Like, years have just flown by in this fort. Well, Stray line. Oh, come on. All right, so I'm going to disable this pasture and just allow my dwarves to run past. Minotaur is bruised. I'm back down to no military again. Minotaur is bruised. And somebody just got clotheslined by it, which was Ashen, one of my miners. Am I stockpiling body parts? No. I just don't have any military. Starting to realize I should make some more cage traps. So I'm just going to slam this door. And slam this door. And then dig a hole right here. Let's see if we can catch him. All right, well, that just killed a goat. And then another llama. It's the last llama. So hopefully, because I've made this no longer active, all the animals can simply run inside. And then when the Minotaur makes a mad dash inside, after probably knocking some stuff over, we'll just get caught in the stockpile. Let's start making rock. Actually, glass coffin? No, those are called coffins. Let's just make 30 glass coffins. Don't you dare knock down the doors. There's a perfectly good way in right there with a cage trap on it. All right, there we go. See? Now you're going to unlock those doors, and you know what? They're not even going to matter. They're not even going to matter. There you go, Minotaur. Thunk, got him. All right, let's deconstruct this wall that I just built. And we've caught ourselves a Minotaur. And let's make the dog pile active again. Kind of sucks we had to lose some dwarves in the process, but eh. But, yeah, we've caught the Minotaur in a cage. So I now have a Minotaur in a cage. I think that Minotaur needs to be sacrificed to our gods of the volcano. What do you guys think? It's the only natural thing to do, frankly. God damn, they made those quickly. It's the only way to honor the dead dwarf naturally. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. So, we're going to have to plot some very maniacal way of sacrificing that Minotaur to the gods of the volcano. Now, dwarves, I need you guys to do me a favor and put this dwarf's body into the coffin. And don't, like, you know, put some random chicken, or in this case, I guess, goose, in there, which is definitely what they're doing. No pets. Dwarves only, okay? Always impressed by how freaking quick the glass industry is once it's functional. God. Kind of nuts. Yo. Oopsies. On my other install, I have it set so that bury pets is not a default option, but... one of those has to land on this. Yeah. F's for this dwarf, who unfortunately got clotheslined by a Minotaur. Although something's got to keep this fortress interesting. As it might not be the safest place to live currently, it will become a pretty safe place to live sooner rather than later. I do got to say that. Let's see how the lava up here is doing. Quite well. Quite well. Come on, chat. We can get more than one F. A dwarf died. This is a travesty. We should all be sad and mourning, frankly. You know. You're just here for the sacrifice. TBH, I'm just here to see the Minotaur get dropped off the big tall ledge with the lava in it, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of body parts to check in there first. I do gotta be honest that this is one of the cooler looking things I've built. It's literally just the melt of a volcano, but it looks kind of rad. I'm always just so underwhelmed by what volcanoes in Dwarf Fortress look like. So, being able to manufacture it into looking cooler has been a very satisfying afternoon, I will say. Also, spring has arrived on the calendar, which means the game is saving. No going back now. How frequent are my sacrifices to it? Intentional or unintentional? Intentional, 0. Unintentional, I'm not at privy to disclose that information. About 4. But frequent? Not that frequent. They kind of come in fits and starts. Gods can respect those impromptu sacrifices. Unexpected sacrifices are the best format of sacrifices, if I do say so myself. Never intended. Always appreciated. Oh no. A stray hen passed away of old age. Rest in peace to that gobbler. Or, not hen, but turkey hen. Oh, I see, because everybody's dumping items. Makes sense. Where are you taking this stuff? My guys. What the fuck? I don't actually know where they're putting this stuff. I apparently have a garbage dump that's not where it's supposed to be. I have a suspicion, but... Found it. I swear that I deactivated these. Apparently I didn't. Alright. Oopsie. Brilliant. Need this wall deconstructed. Actually, hold up. Good spot. It's close. This locked? Yes, this is. I was like, why are they not doing the... I've got the door locked. That makes sense. There we go. Need this stuff to flow and get out of here. So that I can drain this so that we can work on the next bit. But we got lots of stuff to do in this fort, so I think we'll pick this fort back up tomorrow, and I think we'll do Long Death on Thursday this week. Because I've played about 8 hours a Dwarf Fortress today, which I think is a ton. So I think I'm just going to finish up this last little bit of draining that I'm getting going. Okay, so the wall piece and then the piece next to it. And then once we're done with all that, we can then... Well, I'm not done with the stream. We're going to be swapping game. Unless you want to go, that's up to you. I mean, I'm still going to be live for like another 3 hours. I've only been live for 9 hours. 9 hours and 20 minutes. Baby stream still. The stream hasn't even gotten going. I mean, really. The stream's just barely started. Just draining some lava. Why would I end the stream? Come on, you should know me better than this by now. There we go. Now that all that's flowing, we can just let that drain. Well, that might make some surprise obsidian bits in the middle. Just 1 more hour. But what? 10:20? I mean, I will probably stream for another 3. Anyway, we're just going to let that drain. so I don't need to worry about it for the start of next stream. And we will return to this silly fort. Probably increase the population tomorrow. But that's it for Dwarf Fortress for today. If you're here specifically for Dwarf Fortress, there is Nereiden, who's live, who does an annual charity marathon. If you just go to the directory, you'll find him. But I think we're going to go play some Zero Sievert, because the version I have got an update. I think that's the plan for the rest of the stream.